Hi, welcome to the Trading Hub. This is A2Trader, your trading coach. And what I'm going to do today is we're going to talk about our end goals, what we're targeting, what we want to expect to get to, what we would expect our trading to look like in several years, right? What I want you to do is actually see it in action, so you'll know that it's really there, and I'll help you get there. But I'm showing you the end first so you can at least understand and have a picture of what this automation looks like. So keep in mind it's your end goal. We've got a lot of details to go through to get there. We're gonna in this hub we're gonna do very, very detailed assessments of statistics and of trade patterns, trade indicators, and so on and so forth. How to use them, what's the right way to use them, what works, what doesn't. So rest assured we'll get there, but I just want you to be able to see that this actually does exist, and that all of our efforts in forward is going there, right? Is to get there. So we're going to show you what it looks like here and how does it work. Well, I'll show you how the strategy works. In the next episode, I'll talk to you about optimization. I'll show you that is a feature of this particular strategy. So why is this the best place to be? Quite frankly, it takes you out of the captain's chair. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and watch the charts to see which one hits. You don't have to be close enough to hear an alarm bell go off. So this will allow you to go golfing if you really want to. It'll make you feel comfortable going to lunch, going to the restroom, and that kind of thing. This will do your trading for you. You will have engineered it to do that. You're not going to miss a future trade because you know what we're just talking about, just because you weren't there. So what this is actually going to do is it's going to take your trade for you whenever the conditions exist. You will have designed this, tested it. You're going to have confidence in it. Trust me, by the time you get there, you'll have confidence that this thing is working on your behalf. And what that does is that removes all emotion from the activity. All emotion is out of there. You can watch the trade play out, but do not get involved. You don't get involved with it and play with it, because ultimately you spent a lot of time engineering this system, and so you want to let the system do the work for you. You can optimize trade parameters for best results. It's really interesting. I can tell you what's right to get out of the market in the last 2 weeks. What's the right profit target? It's never what you think it's going to be either. It's not let it run. You'll see it. I'll show you that here in just a minute. And there's also statistics that we can look at. So a lot of the features of this automation is optimizations. You'll be amazed at the results from your optimization tests. It allows you to back test your strategy to make sure the strategy really works, right? To make sure it even works. In my strategy, and I'll talk to you about it in a little bit, we have helpful indicators that are in the strategy. That these indicators, things like the DMI, ADX, RSI, they're built into the strategy to allow conditions that have to be met in order to execute on a trade. So we'll talk about that. I'll show you this, and then we'll start working towards that. You can optimize your trade parameters as well. It's just like I said. So let's go ahead and let's just get right into it. This is a strategy, and this is a chart. I'll just go through some of the details. Let's go over to this other screen, which is going to be a little bit easier to see. This is a 610 tick chart on the NQH25 contracts. I trade the NASDAQ because it's how my eyes actually see it better than the others, as well as and we'll walk through how you figure that out in a further episode. But this strategy here took all these trades themselves. Now, ultimately, what this is supposed to do, we're going to do back here. What we do here is we look at a 610 tick chart. That's what I'm looking at. Doesn't mean that's what you have to look at. That's what I'm looking at. Now, the reason I do that is I want to understand what's happening inside the bar. I basically trade on a 15-minute chart. This 15-minute chart over here. This is a 15-minute candle, and everything between this red line and this red line are things that happened in that candle. Now you'll see the candle bounce up and down and turn red, turn green, so on and so forth. ultimately, I can actually see what's happening inside that candle. That builds confidence. You don't know what's happening inside of it here. You do know what's happening inside of it here. Okay? I have an indicator I use as well. This is a proprietary indicator that I can make available on my website. But it actually tells me what's happening inside each one of these candles. Who's winning the race? And when this is live, this happens to be the weekend, so we don't have live traffic right now. But when it's live, you can see them fight for the win. See who's going to get. In this case, the red one, it was a red candle. Red came down and went back up. So, but you can watch it go. So you can see it inside these candles as well. That also helps you understand the direction of the trade. We also have a lot of other things to look at the direction of the trade and the trend, and we'll talk about those, as we move on. But ultimately, I have a 233 moving average right here. It's 233 right now. We optimize to find the best moving average for it, and this is a weighted moving average here. That's a weighted moving average. This here is a short time frame moving average, and right now I think it's at 61. We optimize it for best results as well. Now you'll see a little blue in here. Whenever it reaches a particular slope, it will turn from blue to either red or to green, depending on which way the slope goes. So I can only trade when both of those are green. That's the only time I can take a trade. But let's talk a little bit about what the trade actually is. So my entry point is extremely simple. This is a Donchian channel with 20-period Donchian channel. And we'll go through all of this in detail. Don't worry about learning it right now. Don't worry, just let it soak in. See what it does. Go back and review it if you'd like, but just see what it does. I don't want you to try to have to figure out how this works yet, because we'll get there. And it may not be this strategy that we use. If you guys have a strategy as well, and you get engaged with me, help me understand what it is, I'll try to help you use that strategy also. So, but no matter what strategy you do, no matter what strategy you use, you will have to go through all the steps that I'm going to take you through over the next several episodes. I mean, lots of episodes, to learn how certain indicators work, certain indicators don't work, to understand what they're really telling you. I had to learn this the hard way. I've been trading for 15 years, as I introduced myself in a previous episode. Been trading 15 years, and I was just as confused, just as inconsistent as a lot of traders are in the early, first 4 or 5 years. The problem is you don't have anywhere to go to get help. And when I finally got help, I call it help, it was a group of 4 or 5 people. We switched them out as the years went on, but a group of 4 or 5 people, we traded in the markets every day, and we learned off each other. Also, trading coach was the most valuable money I've ever spent, because that trading coach helped me overcome obstacles quicker than I would have if I had to figure it out by myself. That's what I'm going to hopefully do for you today here. I'm a trade coach as well, so I know what some people are struggling with, and I'm going to try to work on those in each one of these episodes. Okay, so here's my trade. It's just simple. This is the Donchian channel high. This is the Donchian channel low. And basically, it's the lowest low for the last 20 candles is where this channel's at. And this is the highest high for the last 20 candles. And this is the mid right here. This green one right here is the middle. Now, ultimately, what I do is if I'm above the 200 moving average, both of these are green. Well, the high time frame moving average. Both of these are green, and a multitude of other indicators take shape and meet their conditions. And when I say multitude, I mean we're talking like 18 different data points have to all line up. When they all line up, then I take a trade. And I have 4 exits. Now, we're not going to go through the details of all these now, but just look at this. So ultimately, my trade does this. Whenever it comes down and hits the middle of the Donchian channel and the all the conditions are met, then it will enter a trade long, This is one contract long. It'll enter the trade and it'll exit wherever I tell it to exit at, right? Now, ultimately, right now, there's a statistical analysis we do in an optimization to tell us what's the right amount of money to try to get out of this market, right? Now, a lot of people would say if you did enter here, you'd wait till it gets all the way up here. That answer is no. It just simply doesn't make the money you think it's going to make. It's so wild that it's just counterintuitive. But I'll show you as we get into optimization how we make these determinations. In this case, this right now, I'll pull this is my statistical analysis, performance analysis chart, this is automatically output with TradeStation, automatically for all of your trades throughout the strategy that you've got it turned when you got it turned on. Now, I've got my profit target set at $248. I've got a circuit breaker stop at 213. That means if it goes above negative 213 or below negative 213, it will actually take me out of the trade. That's one of my exits. In this case, if we look at all the different trades and we look at this trade right here, it's right down here. It highlights it. I made $295. Now, long story short, each candle passes through 4 times through the strategy software. So sometimes it's not exactly what you set it to, but it's usually not too far off from that. And I've noticed it went along here, and I had it set for 248, and made 315 on this one. This took me out before it even went all the way up here, right? It took me out whenever I was above 248, whenever the software executed and it was above 248. And it's kind of, and oh, by the way, here's a stop out. So here I went long, right there. I went long, price came down and it entered me right here. And then what happened? It fell and it took me out. And so this is the circuit breaker stop that it hit. Now let's see what it says. 290. So I lost 290 there. But I will tell you that the statistics are awesome here. This goes back 12. Should go back 12 days. Yeah, 12 days at 7 hours and 27 minutes 41 seconds. It said I was in the market for 4 hours and 37 seconds or minutes rather. And I went 2 days and 18 hours without a trade. So if we go up here, the most important things, and I'll go through this in detail in the next episode, but in those 12 days, I made $16,265. Okay, I had gross profit of $28,000 and a gross loss of $12,000. I was 62% successful, right? And I took 176 trades. And here's the long trades and the long performance, and here's the short performance. You can see I performed 6 or 7% better on long trades than I did short trades. And you'll find that because we're at the top of the market, right? The top of the market, it crawls up, but sometimes when it drops differently, right? And we'll talk about all that later. But it shows me that I'm more successful at the long trades. And so this is available to you when you build a strategy. You can buy a strategy too, right? I'll be honest with you. You can buy one. I do not sell mine. Trust me, I've got like 7 or 8 of them. I don't want to be the support person for it. Quite frankly, I've been in the software business for a long time, and the biggest hurdle in a software business is the support that you have to provide for it. It's also the most costly. So I don't sell this, but you will find them in places where you can buy them. And in those places, when you buy one, you don't know what's inside it. So you don't really have the confidence in it. You end up in the same boat you are now, where you're in a trade and you'll go, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I think it's going to stop me out, so I'm going to get out early. Or I think this is as far as it's going to get, so I'll get out early. Whatever the case is, you will not have the confidence. I'm going to help you learn your strategy step by step. you'll engineer it and you will have the confidence. I'm hoping that we get a following here. We get a group of people together that all want to learn, right? You want to build your confidence up. You want to be consistent in your trade patterns and your trading styles. I'll show you multiple, like the screen I use when I trade. I'll show you that screen and all the different indicators I use in it. Okay. Now, ultimately, and I'll do that here in just a minute. But ultimately, so this is the actual automation strategy itself. This is what it does. So I did promise you I'd go back and show you what my trade setup looks like, or my workspace looks like. I'm happy to share this as well with you guys. But so this is those same trades. These are those same trades. I use over here. What we've got is a market depth, and that is the market depth. At the end of the day, what it is it's the number of shares. If this is current price, the number of shares that are being looked at from the bid side and the ask side. So if these are heavier, like longer, just like this, that means if it's from the ask, they're going to keep going up higher, and it's going to turn the market up, right? If it's on this side, the market's going to go down. Now, I don't have this is Sunday night, and I don't have my chart set up for 24 hours right now. But we will go through this in grave detail. Now, I'm going to have a session in the next couple of episodes about just this chart. I'll be in the live market, so you'll be able to see, and we'll be able to stop it, and so you can see what I'm talking about. I can read. This is called reading the tape, and I can read this. I can read this. This says that it's going to go down. This is the bid, so it's going to go down. This is the ask, so it's going to go up. And I think I said that reversed just a little while ago for some reason. I don't know why I use this every day. But when I'm in a trade, especially, I watch this consistently. I watch a couple of different things so I can get an understanding of what's happening inside the candle at the time. I look at this. I look at this. Now, if you look at this right now, there's all green. So that means there was a bunch of buys, and that will probably send the market up. So when I'm in a trade, I look at this. If I'm long and I see a boatload of red coming through, well, what will happen is this indicator will show up as well, because this is the volume tick indicator. So when this goes up, that means the market's going to change direction. I designed this, and it works fantastic. But again, I use these to help me understand when I'm in the middle of a trade, where's the volume at? If there's no volume and it's going up, that's crazy, because it should not go up with no volume. So if there's volume, then your trade is good. It's predictable. When there's no volume and it's moving, it's unpredictable, right? The market is unpredictable at that point. So you've got to keep an eye on the volumes, and that's what I'm doing here. So, but again, we'll go through this in much more detail. I'll go through my supply and demand theories. We'll go through charts, and we'll look at chart patterns. We'll look at this, all the indicators that are out there. The MACD. You can have a Bollinger Band strategy. You can have a MACD strategy built. You can have an 889 strategy built. You can do anything, and all these strategies work. That's the big thing to remember. They all work. Problem is, we don't stick to the rules as they're designed, right? And we get in, we get out, we do this, we do that. So long story short, we're going to go through every step that I learned in 15 years to get to where I'm at today. In the next episode, we're going to talk about optimization. That'll blow your mind, I think. So I look forward to that. Thank you very much for your time. Like, share, and please subscribe. The more people that we have in here, the better it's going to be. We can even do live if we want to do some live trades, live trading days or something like that. We can do that here as well. I'm perfectly perfectly happy doing that. So it'll be done a different way. It won't be on YouTube necessarily, but it'll be done a different way. But I'm happy to do that if we set it up and schedule it. And if that's what people need to help them succeed, then by all means, that's what I'm going to do. Because I tell you what, I didn't get here by myself. It takes a village. And I want to help you, if nothing else, create that village, right? So thank you again for your time. We'll talk to you in the next sessions. Happy trading.